Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us on this WLBT Plus Digital News Desk update for Friday, January 16th. I'm CJ LeMaster, your host and your lead investigative reporter for WLBT. I got a lot of stories that we want to get to. Got several of you watching right now on Facebook and YouTube on our live streaming option there, and also, too, on our OTT platform. So thank you to everybody for joining us today. We want to start with something that I don't know if you're familiar with the Jackson bribery scandal. We've been covering it, but recently been a lot of documents that were filed by Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens in an effort to get the government basically to dismiss the case, saying that he was trapped, or basically it was entrapment that caused all of this, and the government took advantage of him, set him up. And we've reported on that. But some of the fallout from this is in the files that he submitted along with his motion to dismiss everything. And in these files contained a lot of things: interviews with confidential informants, other things regarding other members of the Jackson City Council, other city leaders, county leaders. Again, these are not things that carried with them charges, but at least as far as we can tell, it showed that the government was getting information on these individuals. I guess in the framework of all of that, in the context of all of that, we are learning that a Jackson City councilman is accused of accepting cash payments. A criminal informant, a convicted felon, criminal informant to the FBI, so somebody who was paid to provide information to the federal government, said this. So again, take that with a grain of salt, but it is something that was officially recorded and something that was looked into by the FBI, at least in terms of these communications. We're talking about Ward 3 Councilman Kenneth Stokes. These accusations were made between 2020 and 2021. Councilman Stokes has said vehemently that it's not true. The informant is claiming that Stokes accepted $2,000 in exchange for the promise of providing favors in the future. Again, there was nothing actually that the informant documented that Councilman Stokes did once he received this money, only that he had promised to help him in the future if he needed something before the council. Councilman Stokes has said he would never betray your trust and accept money while in office. Now, the informant claims that Stokes requested payments ranging from $300 to $500. He also says that, again, Stokes has maintained that none of this is accurate. He says that he knows who the informant is, but claims they've never had a conversation. According to these federal documents, the informant felt obligated to pay Stokes because he owned properties in Stokes Ward. The councilman calls these properties trap houses, saying no one lives there. Stokes believes the informant is making these accusations as a way to gain favor with the feds.
And if it was true, somebody would come with a picture, or they'll come with some audio. It's got to be audio or visual if it happened. If it didn't happen, then they can't come with a damn thing. And that's what it is. And that's why ain't nothing come forward, because it did not happen.
Now, again, according to these federal documents, the informant felt obligated to pay Stokes because he owned properties in Stokes Ward. The councilman calls these properties trap houses. He says no one lives there. And again, Stokes says none of this is true. He knows who the informant is, but says they've never had a conversation. My apologies for the video that we were playing there. It was actually his interview soundbite instead of the video. Something got rearranged here, and I apologize. That's why I'm repeating the script here to let you know kind of what's going on. Again, Councilman Stokes maintains there's no evidence to back up these claims that he accepted any money, and these are just allegations. These aren't even allegations from law enforcement. These are allegations from an FBI informant. Someone paid money to provide, tips, information, things to investigate to the federal government. Got a couple of you saying hi on this Friday. Audrey Elliott saying good afternoon, everyone. Audrey, I hope you're doing well. Britt, hey, how are you? Happy Friday to you as well. And Melissa Price, long time no see. Happy Friday. And she says happy Friday as well. So glad to see that we've got a lot of you watching today. We also want to let you know, too, regarding something else we're following in Emmett County. After months of waiting, a family there is reacting to a verdict in a hit and run case that claimed a young man's life. 10-year-old Jordan Hill was hit and killed while riding an ATV in Emmett County back on April 6th of last year. Shortly after the crash, Cody Robinson was arrested, later charged with aggravated DUI and felony leaving the scene of an accident. After a 2-day trial, Rollinson was found not guilty on both charges. Hill's family says they were stunned by the verdict and that Jordan's absence has left a deep void in their life.
It's just kind of empty and boring. It's just not the same as when he was here. Because he was like, he's the baby. So it's just like everything just feel gone, like it's a missing piece.
No justice.
No peace.
Now, the family also claims some jurors may have had prior knowledge of the case and should not have served on the jury. 3 on Your Side has not been able to independently confirm those claims. At the state capitol, the House has passed a massive bill that would give you more options about where you send your child to school. But we want to tell you, House Bill 2 narrowly passed the full House, a vote of 61 to 59. So a little bit different than party lines. You had more than a dozen Republicans who voted against it. 4 hours of heated debate came before that vote. This contained multiple education provisions, but school choice has been the most controversial. The main point of contention here, public dollars potentially going to private schools. Under the bill, that would become possible through so-called education scholarship accounts.
I want to be extremely clear that this bill does not force anybody to go to another school. If they are happy in their school, that is where they may remain. It does not mandate a single path forward in educating our children. What it simply does, it expands options for our parents. It expands options for those in particular who feel trapped in a system that has remained that same way for generations.
And we're creating a system that says, oh, if you think you can get a better education and you know where you can get one, if that school doesn't want you, they can say no.
Now, again, the votes were not cast purely along party lines. More than a dozen Republicans voting no on the bill, even though it's the Republican speaker's main priority this year. Over in the Senate, the education chairman has said repeatedly that with regard to school choice, that chamber is willing to approve only public-to-public school transfers. Faith leaders here in the capital city and congregations from across the area came together last night at Thalia Hall for a citywide call to prayer. The rally, organized by Mayor John Horn and the Interfaith Task Force, brought together churches of all denominations with one mission: to transform Jackson through prayer and community action. Attendees joined hands and raised their voices in song, uniting around a simple message: lifting up the city through prayer, then taking action. The goal here is clear: make Jackson stronger, safer, cleaner, and more united.
We've been praying for this for years. And before he became mayor, I told John Horn, we need a prayer time in the city. And God permitted us through him to have a prayer tonight for the citywide.
He utilizing us to bring on the effective changes that I believe that Jackson need in the community. And I do believe we need that extremely, very bad.
After the event, faith groups were invited to adopt a parish area near their place of worship, taking on responsibilities like cleanups, community outreach, and neighborhood support. Got a couple more of you saying hi. Fanny Lane saying good afternoon, everyone. Fanny, I hope you're doing well on this Friday. And Linda Carter regarding our story on that ATV verdict, prayers for the Hill family. It certainly is a horrible situation, and we will continue to follow that case as well. That is all the time we have for this edition of the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update for your Friday, January 16th. The First Alert Weather Team will be in here at 2:30 p.m. to let you know whether or not we're still having any kind of chances for flurries Saturday night into Sunday. The timing of that will probably be a little bit more specific now that we're closer to it, but we will have the latest on that, and our early evening newscast start at 4 p.m. on air and online. For everyone here at WLBT News, I'm CJ Lemaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host for this digital news desk update each and every weekday at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here on Monday. Hope you have an amazing weekend.